We're going to unleash Dance Studio on the world, and it is going to take over the entirety of World of Warcraft, and it's going to be awesome. But not today. We are releasing a lot of the guild services terrifyingly soon. I will say in less than 2 weeks, we will be releasing all the guild services. We didn't want to do it prior to BlizzCon, but we're going to be doing it really quick.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, Kramer from TG on Arthas. Just want to say I love what you've done with Heroic Rag. Probably one of the best fights since Murun killed Jaden. However, I do want to know if in the upcoming expansion, if you plan to be bringing the same kind of challenges that Heroic Rag brought, or are we going to kind of see a more of a kind of neutral rating standpoint, or if we're going to be seeing bigger, better, higher things?
I think we can assume that the heroic modes are always going to try to be very challenging and be for very hardcore players.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Planet from Infallible. I have a question about healers. Your design in Mist of Pandoria. Are you planning to bring more healers into 25 main raids? Because there is a new healing class as a monk healer, and 25 man guilds will usually have 2 people per class. So I was wondering if you're going to design your raids to bring more healers into Mist of Pandoria raids.
I don't think we'll change the number of healers we expect players to bring. It just, we'll see a little more variety. Some groups will have a monk healer and some won't the same way. Some groups have a paladin tank and some groups have a feral druid tank.
Thank you.
Hi there. I think everybody's really excited about the new challenge modes for the dungeons, and so I was wondering about the gear normalization you're thinking of doing, because people are really passionate about how they optimize their gear, and if they have everything perfectly where they want it, exactly 5% hit, 20% haste, and I go into a dungeon and my gear gets normalized up or down, what's going to happen? Am I not going to be hit capped anymore? Am I going to have to do a bunch of math to be a little bit over and then get normalized down? How do you see that working?
I think that we would definitely want to try to avoid messing with hit cap, since that has such a big impact on the way things play. There's still a lot to work out with exactly how that normalization is going to work. But by and large, the intent is for people to be able to do roughly the same DPS, healing, mitigation, all that kind of stuff. So there will be some complexities to it to work out for sure, but that's definitely good feedback as far as what to watch out for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. With some pets becoming account bound and some achievements becoming account bound, would it be possible to see mounts? Some mounts becoming account bound?
Hopefully someday. I could see that being a natural extension. I don't think that'll happen in 5.0, but somewhere down the line, I think that's likely.
Thank you.
Hi, my question is, as a parent, I love my authenticator because when the kids are grounded, I just take it away. But that doesn't work anymore. Can I have that back? Or an option to turn on my authenticator needed every single time?
Yes.
Soon.
Yeah, that is something we're actively working on.
Trademark.
Shout out for the guild. Okay, go there and land display you. And my question is regarding the balance with Moonkin form. I'm not sure how much you've actually thought about it, but what are your plans for the form? Are you gonna do the same thing you do with the warlocks, with metamorphosis? And is there ever going to be a chance to actually change the looks of the Mookin form the same way you did with the bear and cat forms for Troll and Wogan?
Take it, Chris.
I mean, we're gonna update the art on the Moonkin form as we see fit. We really are kind of like right in the fledgling process of exactly how we're going to handle all those things with 5.0, so it's too early to tell you exactly what we're going to be doing. That's it, man. Sorry.
We're just not that far along yet to know.
Hey, first of all, I think you guys have the best customer service out of not just a game company, but any company I've ever given my money to, so thank you.
Thank you.
That's really nice to hear. We've got hundreds of customer service people who are helping actually run BlizzCon who can hear that right now, so thank you very much.
Thank you all. But in regards to that, race changing, quest credit, and legendaries. I know a lot of people, me included, that race change so we can min-max on a progression fight, and I didn't even think about it, and I lost my quest credit. But your customer service helped, but there's a lot of people that didn't get help. And trying to recruit casters right now is really hard because most of the ones you want to recruit are on a part of the quest. And they're gonna race change or faction change and they'll lose everything. So what is your policy ideas about that? Just your thoughts on it.
I would like to create a whitelist of quests that don't get dropped when you race change. That way they carry over. We'd have to look into how feasible that is, but that's definitely something that I would want to do.
It's hard on the legendary front. We try to be really careful that our CS department doesn't get inundated with people trying to game the system because, oh, I should have gotten that extra piece. Don't you know that? And even if it's a totally illegitimate claim, it just ties those guys up. So we try to take a pretty firm stance of the legendaries of like, let the chips fall where they may, and we don't want anyone to get cheated out of what they earn, but we also don't want a legendary to be like this, oh God, customer service, nightmare every time we decide to add one.
And thank you for doing it for me. I love you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the future, are you guys ever going to make BOA items actually
BattleNet wide?
go cast servers? Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't catch the last part.
Alright.
Oh, go cross servers, like on your BattleNet account?
Yeah, I think she's wondering if BOAs will be able to transfer across all the servers and battle groups.
Maybe someday in the future. Probably not in the immediate future, though. We really don't have a mechanism right now to be able to send items across servers.
The databases don't do the best job talking to one another right now, so that's why it doesn't work. It's a technical concern.
So I have a dream too here, and the mail system is a terrible way to get players to get gear to their other characters. And like what we would like to do with the pets, with the new pet battle system in 5.0 is, it would be wonderful if when you logged in and you created a new character, you just went to your pet page and there are all your pets, and you don't have to go check the mail and get all these things out of the mail. And if we could do something like that, we could certainly look at doing it for things like mounts and heirlooms as well.
Thank you on her behalf.
Such a dreamer.
It's a good dream.
All right, so with the past few patches, we've seen the emergence of two-button classes, like Swipe 30k Druid tanks and 1112, 1112 arcane mages, also getting top of the DPS charts. Wasn't the response I was expecting. With the introduction of your monk, which resembles a rogue in all attempts, and the fact that you can now build it from the ground up with the new expansion, what are you looking at as far as making this monk class not overpowered like a feral druid or an arcane mage, or completely suck like a ret pally or a blood DK?
I think I heard a little QQQ in there.
To be fair, I have an arcane mage, a blood DK, a frost DK, and a fury prot warrior, so
So there's two different things there I'll touch on really quickly is initially we never put a lot of thought into AoE rotations. It just wasn't something you did a lot in vanilla WoW. Since then, it's become a really big part of PvE, and we've gradually tried to improve it to where every spec has something interesting to do in AE. They're not just sitting there channeling a blizzard or channeling a hurricane, and that's definitely the kind of thing we'll improve going forward. The Arcane Mage, even though they don't have a lot of spells in their list of what did damage on a certain fight, there is a lot of gameplay involved there, and the good Arcane Mages know that they do have to manage mana, they do have to line things up the right way. And I think, I don't know if you heard the last panel, but I think once we get Arcane Missiles back in the rotation a little bit, that'll feel a little better too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just wanted to say, whoever the Whovian was that came up with the name for Mage Tier 13, I love you. And my question is kind of building up on his with the Arcane Mages. Do you ever plan on like altering spells or maybe adding a new spell that gives us a dot? Because I don't really like just throwing up Arcane Blast, oh, there's the slow, and I just keep spamming Arcane Blast, oh, time for Arcane Missiles. Do you ever plan on like adding a dot and maybe nerfing Arcane Blast a little bit?
Well, as a matter of fact, in 5.0 with the talent revamp and all that kind of stuff, Living Bomb is a spell that all mages will have.
Thank you.
I love the Tier 13 set too. It was a really fun collaboration between the designers and the artists. We suggested that we try to theme all of those sets after one of the new spells that everyone got in Cataclysm, and so the Time Lord Regalia totally made sense there. And then the artist just went crazy on the stuff, which was a lot of fun because we were getting a lot of feedback from the time from players like, oh, clearly with transmogrification now the art team's just going to phone it in because they can use old art. And I think, you know, our artists really kicked ass and showed in both PvE and PvP that's just not the case.
You mean we can't just phone it in anymore? Lazy Blizzard artists, we hate you.
Hi guys. With the reveal that the wand slot or the range slot is going away and wands are going main hand, does that mean that enchanters will in the future be able to make sweet new epic wands instead of the crappy low level ones we can do now?
Definitely.
Short and sweet.
Good idea.
How's it going, guys? I just wanted to know what your changes are going to be for professions for the new expansion. Are you guys going to fix up the profession bonuses? Because I know that gathering professions, they really don't give too much. But as for crafting professions, you get like pretty much the best stuff. So you have to pretty much get two crafting professions in order to min-max. Is there any changes that we can look forward to?
I mean, that's the kind of thing we'll always take a look at. We don't have any sweeping changes to those perks that you get from those professions. We want, ultimately, we don't want min-max players to feel like taking a gathering profession is a mistake. At the same time, we know a lot of players get frustrated that they spend all this effort on, say, blacksmithing or enchanting or something, and then it doesn't give them enough power at max level. Professions, the kind of thing over and over, we hear from players who say, my profession isn't good enough. You know, everyone else's is okay, but it's time for a little love for me. So it's really hard to hit that sweet spot where they feel cool, but still not mandatory.
Also, with professions, if our quivers for hunters, if quivers are going to be displayable, will then leatherworking go ahead and be able to make quivers again or ammo bags?
We're not sure exactly what the delivery mechanism will be for those slots. It's not the kind of thing where we'd make like 20 quivers a patch or something like that. We want it to be more of a cosmetic and a reward. So we're still talking about the exact way to get that for the player.
Yeah, and from a visual side too, like we were literally just talking about how we want to add those things to all classes. So, you know, ammo pouches and quivers for hunters and tomes for paladins, and I think we need to kind of carry that across all classes and make them very unique and find a way to do that in a way where it's cool for gameplay but also works for the visual capacity. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hi there.
My question is about transmog and items that you can no longer acquire in the game anymore. In specific, I have a priest with a benediction staff, and the quest for that was removed. And my question is, I'm very excited to be able to transmog that as bragging rights.